hearing on an objection to child support order, it being the plaintiff's objection, appearing at today's hearing via Zoom. There being no objections is plaintiff Justin Cohn and the defendant Alicia Cohn. And Mr. Cohn, this is your objection. Mr. Cohn, what would you like to say today in support of your objection?
Oh, I just, my accountant made a mistake on my taxes that the financial information that was used to establish child support. And I'm just looking for a correction is all.
Okay. And you submitted with your motion one page of a Form 1040 for 2021 and one page of a 3-year state tax return comparison. And are you asking the court to consider those 2 pages?
Yes.
Okay. And so did you want to talk about those 2 pages, or does anything in particular?
Yeah, this is really pretty cut and dried. I mean, my accountant made a massive mistake, about a $40,000 mistake on my taxes, and had me it looking like I made like $65,000, and I didn't. And so I would just like to take those tax forms, the way that they would normally calculate child support, and just, make the correction. And it's kind of like if you got your credit card statement and you found out that for months you were overpaying on a subscription, it would just be like, whoa, time out. I just want to make the correction and see what we can do from there for moving forward, or for getting a credit for whatever I've overpaid. Or I did the child support formula. I also submitted that, and I did the calculations, and it worked out to about $417 a month, I believe the paperwork says, and I'm currently paying $699. That's quite a difference, $280 a month.
And so you're asking the court to follow the proposed child support order that you submitted?
Yes, or to recalculate it with, I thought that was the formula the court used. That's kind of what I gathered. Just follow whatever the court normally does.
Okay. And anything else today?
I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Cohn, did you have any questions for Mr. Cohn?
Yeah, I do. So the tax forms that he submitted were personal, and I believe it said about 20,000 ish per year he makes. He owns businesses too, so I just wondered where his business returns are. He claims to make $20,000 a year, which we all know you can't live off $20,000 a year. And Mr. Cohen owns a house on Torch Lake, so I'm just wondering, how does he pay his mortgage? What other expenses does he have each month to just survive off $20,000 income? The formula that he submitted to the friend of the court, I got a copy of. That was just his calculation. He put 21 overnights with our daughter. He does not have any overnights.
And this is an extremely long question, so I'm confused at this point. I thought this is your opportunity to cross-examine the witness.
Okay.
Did you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just take it one narrow question at a time, if we could.
Okay.
Okay.
So I want to know, does he have business taxes aside from the personal taxes, since he's the owner?
Ask him.
Justin, do you have business?
Yes, I do. And those were figured in that whole packet as well.
Where did you get the calculation for child support when you don't have an accurate income for me, and the overnights were not accurate?
I went off of the standard 40-hour a week at minimum wage that the courts use.
Okay. Why did you put 21 overnights when you have 0?
Because that's just for Micaiah watching the dogs. I mean, she's at my house. I'm filling the fridge, that's it. Pretty simple. Not like that's why I didn't put 80 days or 100 days, because it's not true. She was here about 3 weeks, roughly.
So when she was there, you're on vacation in the Bahamas or Florida. So the overnights are usually based on you actually spending time with your daughter, not her doing a good deed for you. So the 21 overnights is overnights that she spends with you, correct?
No, they're not. Absolutely not. You're absolutely right. Like I just said, when she's here watching the dogs.
Okay. How do you pay your monthly expenses if you make 20,000 per year? Your mortgage
Because I
payment?
make all of my money at one time and I put it in the bank and I save it.
Okay. I just wondered, since you have an Airbnb business, a campground, I just wondered how you are only bringing in $20,000 and you're paying a mortgage on Torch Lake, taxes on a Torch Lake house, insurance, a cell phone. I just wondering if that $20,000 is accurate.
Yes, it is, because what these are called is when you have your own business and you have all those expenses, those are tax write-off. Those are not my taxable income. Those are considered business expenses. So when that mortgage gets paid, that's because it's on Torch Lake and it's because that's how I make my income. That mortgage and parts of that business are a tax write-off. Like, it's not considered my taxable income. It's not money that I get to keep. And this is based off money that I get to keep. Actually, more than money I get to keep.
Okay. Do you know that child support's based on your ability to earn? It's not just based solely on your W-2s?
Nope. That is we have never had it calculated that way. It has always went off of W-2s. You can't tell me that I have to go get a $10 an hour job. Nobody can tell me I have to do that.
Okay. Just because it is a general information, if you have the packet, it actually states right in there that it's actually need not be based on a person's actual income. So
well, that's fine.
Its ability to earn. So I was just wondering.
Well, and also, like you mentioned the campground, that is a non-paid position that's not even built yet. My spare time and my ability to earn that's where it's spent. It's spent there building that campground. That's a project that won't be complete for probably 1.5 to 2 years. You can't tell me, oh, you can't go do this. You have to go get a $15 an hour job because you have an ability to earn. Like, nobody can tell me I have to do that. If I'm building another business and that's what I'm using my time doing, that's my prerogative. Because that's I am exercising my ability to earn by building a business.
You also have a financial obligation to your child too, which is
and my financial obligation is being met. That's the whole point here.
You are 3 months behind on child support.
I believe I owe for April.
Okay, well, I called and you're 3 months behind. Anyways,
okay,
I think
do we verify that by chance? All right, on here.
What was that?
I'm asking the referee if that's information he has that we can verify.
I don't have that information in front of me in order to take notice of it at this point.
Okay, because from what my calculations, I only owe for April. And the only reason I haven't paid April is because I want this hearing to go on, because if I'm overpaying by $200 and almost $300 a month and I'm not going to get a credit, that's financially, nobody would overpay a bill $4,000 to $5,000 a year. Nobody in their right mind would be like, hey, I found this massive financial error. Let's just not correct it. I mean, nobody would do that. So I'm not asking to not pay child support. All I'm asking is to take the formula that the court usually takes with, respect to what I actually make, the money that I actually get to keep for the year, and just calculate my child support. That's all I'm asking. Just whatever the court finds is fair for the formula that they use. If we want to take the 21 overnights,
this is not really responsive to the we've gone beyond the question and answer format. Okay. That's all we're doing here. Ms. Cohn, did you have any other questions for Mr. Cohn?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm just looking at the investigations and recommendations by the friend of the court that were signed by Julie Dubé on June 24th, 2022. And it states that Mr. Cohn, that you previously worked as a welding inspector
yes,
prior to becoming self-employed. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Lots of years away from home.
And it states that you became self-employed in June of 2021. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that sounds right.
And what caused you to leave the work that you were doing as a welding inspector?
Well, I worked approximately 70 to 90 hours a week, 7 to 9 months a year for 15 years, traveling all over the country, all over the state. And, it's just, when you work for somebody else, you make somebody else rich. Why not? Why, if I'm going to put 80 to 90 hours a week in for somebody else, why wouldn't I just put it in for myself and be able to sleep in my own bed at night and try to have somewhat of a normal life? 15 years of over the road work really wears a person down. I didn't want to do the work anymore. Too much time away from home, too much waste of life. Now I got to work really, really hard for about 4 months. And then on my time off, I get to build other businesses that my whole family gets to benefit from, including my children. Over the road work's no way to live.
Okay, so what do you do as a self-employed person exactly?
I own the Torch Lake Tiki. The house that was previously mentioned, I rent it out. It's on the Torch Lake Sandbar, and I built a food boat, essentially a food truck that floats on the water, and I pull it out to the sandbar every day and sell burgers and work with my kids. It's a little mom and pop family run business. It's really hardcore for about 4 months. We're out there for 2 months, and that's what we do.
Okay, so Torch Lake Tiki. What is Torch Lake Tiki?
It's hospitality. We're considered hospitality.
Okay, and what does the business do?
We sell food on the sandbar and rent out a house.
And so as far as the food portion is concerned, how many weeks a year does that part of the operation occur?
About 8.
And so is that are you directly involved with as far as the actual labor for that work?
Hands-on everything that happens during the day. My days are about 18 to 20 hours. My fingers touch everything that happens in that business for 70 days to 90 days straight. And on my off, when I'm not doing that, we're building a campground. I build a campground.
All right. So what is the campground that you're building considered part of the Torch Lake Tiki enterprise?
No, it is not. It is Blue Lakes Adventure.
We'll come back to that.
All right.
Yeah. Does the rental house considered part of the Torch Lake Tiki enterprise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Well, let me write that down. Yes and no. What is the yes part?
It's in the same spot. So I kind of.
Okay. So is there anything else that makes it yes besides it being in the same spot?
No.
Okay, one moment. Okay, so what makes it no?
I have to keep that part of separate from my business. So, for example, if somebody drowns in one of my kayaks, something terrible happens, they can't come after my house.
Okay, so one moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that it's two separate ownership entities. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Does the rental house have does it have a certain name or a certain, how do you market it?
Oh, just Airbnb.
Okay, all right.
Nope. It's you can access the Airbnb site off of the Torch Lake Tiki website, but they're two separate things. Couldn't afford the liability.
Okay. All right. So the rental house is on Torch Lake.
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you owned it?
Since opening the Torch Lake Tiki, I have owned it. I'm buying my sister out, but We bought it back in 2012.
Okay. Right. And do you live in it?
No,
Does anybody live in it?
no.
Okay. Do you share the income, the rental income with anyone else?
No. I think it made 33,000 last year.
And were you renting this house out when you were working as a welding inspector?
Yes, I owned it with my sister.
Okay, so how long have you been renting it out for?
We've rented it 2 to 3 weeks a year for probably from 2012 until 2021. And then in 2021, when I bought them out, we did a land contract. Now we rent it approximately 50 to 60 days, usually.
And you bought them out, you bought out your sister in 21?
Yes.
And was that, how much was the buyout?
175,000. 1,000 a month.
And so you're still paying that on that contract?
Yes, $1,000 a month for the next 16 years, I believe.
And you're saying that you how many days a year do you rent that place?
Approximately about 50. I think we did 51 last year. 48, something like that. 55, I think, the year before.
And so is the food boat separate from Torch Lake Tiki?
No, that is Torch Lake Tiki.
Okay. So that's the Sandbar food establishment?
Yes.
Okay. Does Torch Lake Tiki also rent SUPs, kayaks, jet skis, and a pontoon?
No jet skis or pontoon anymore. We do stand-up paddle boards, kayaks.
So the campground that you're working on, do you own, do you own that, the thing that you're working on, or does somebody else own the thing that you're working on?
It's a 50-50 partnership.
Okay.
I own 50%.
Okay. Does it have a name yet?
Yeah, Blue Lakes Adventure Camp.
Okay.
This is an LLC. I mean, right now it's just a flat field. Nothing in it.
What do you have to do to make it ready?
Well, I just got, actually yesterday or the day before yesterday, I just got my last state permit. That process I started December 13th of 2021. And I just got one of my last permits. We have to get one more building permit from the local, from Bel Air, and then we can start installing the sewer and water system. We're expected to possibly do a soft opening June 1st of 2024, but due to permit delays, it's looking like maybe 2025, if not fall of 2024. It's a very, very long and drawn out process to do it properly. We've already got a lot of money invested. My partner is very well to do. He's kind of doing the investing part and I'm doing the building of it because he works over the road still. And his company makes a very substantial amount of money. So he's able to be a venture capitalist, so to speak. And I'm out there 7 days a week if I'm not tikiing, heading out there actually after we get off this call to meet him.
And how and so this has been going on for a year?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
And you're out there 7 days a week? When it's not the busy season?
When it's not my busy season, I'm out there. Not this year, I haven't been. I've been doing a little bit more because I worked so hard in the fall that now I'm at a standstill. So I haven't been for the last couple of months, but yeah, when I closed up the tiki in September, I was out there from September. The first day I took off, I think, was Thanksgiving. And then after that, I finished up about December 20th. I can't wait to get it open so I can close the tiki. In fact, it's because the tiki is 20 hours a day all summer long. I don't sleep much. I pray for rain about July.
I mean, and as far as just your work background, you've discussed that a little bit. Do you have any desire whatsoever to go back to what you were doing previously?
I will never, ever pipeline ever again in my life.
Do you have any skills or training other than what you got in, conjunction with the pipeline work?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What are those?
Stuff like this campground. Running my equipment, installing, building things. But what I found, and I don't want to get too far off. I just, after working for yourself, there's no reason to work for somebody else. If you're going to work that hard, just do it for yourself. You might not get paid as much in the beginning, but you get, you build up to it.
Do you have, how is your health? Do you have any health issues?
No.
Do you have anything in your life that makes you unavailable for work at any point in time, whatever it is you're doing?
Family emergencies. Or, I'll try to, once in a while, I'll try to knock off to barbecue or something with the family, or, but my lady, she's very involved in the work with me. She's there. She's right there by my side. 90% of the time when she's not teaching.
Has everything been okay on the family emergency front?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sometimes my family gets a little bit testy if you don't show up to a Sunday dinner or something. They're like, where you been? Where you been? Well, you know where I'm at. Come get me. My dad's very involved with, he comes out and runs equipment with me building the campground. It's kind of he's 85. So it's actually kind of been a little bit of a blessing. We didn't have a great relationship. And so we're out there running equipment together. It's kind of cool.
Okay. Do you have any idea if there's other work you could do?
I don't even have any more time to put towards other work.
Okay. So is it fair to say you haven't looked at that?
Absolutely not. No way. Then nobody pays any money. And
is it fair to say that you don't know if you haven't looked? Is that fair?
What's that? I looked at some stuff. They want to pay like 17, 18 bucks an hour. And I'm not doing that. When I can put all my time towards this campground, when I'm not at the tiki, to eventually make, $100,000 to $200,000 in 6 months, if I just put my time there instead of going to make somebody else rich, that's where I'm going.
And when you say 17 to 18 an hour, what kind of jobs are you talking about?
Stuff with like supply houses, stuff I have experience in, water well drilling stuff, plumbing stuff, supply houses.
And so you're saying that you looked around a little bit around here and that's kind of what it pays?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not going to crawl around in somebody's crawl space for 18 bucks an hour. No way. We've come too far. I've worked way too hard in my life and built my own enterprise way too much for that. I might not make $1 million a year, but I live to where I can pay my stuff off. And, if I've got 25,000, 30,000 in the bank at the end of the year or something, and that's the money I make, I just make mine all at one time instead of throughout the year. That's what I live off of. My bills are only probably like, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 a month. I know I don't bring in those 65,000 a year though.
And just so I'm clear, so you're saying that for, about 3 weeks out of the year, Micaiah will, basically dog sit for you. Is that right?
I think it was about 3 weeks last year.
Okay.
We can take that down to 0 if it makes everybody. I don't mind.
I thought I heard you say that, when she does that, she'll be there, full time, and you'll kind of have the house stocked so that she's got food available for her and things like that.
Yeah. I pay her too.
Okay.
I mean, she's going to be 17 here in a month. We don't really adhere to that overnight thing. We haven't for about a year. She come and go as she pleases.
All right, so the court will take notice that there were various Antrim County parcel numbers that were reviewed by Ms. Dubé prior to her making the recommendation. And I'll just review those with you. Ms. Dubé pulled up, and I'm just going to go in no particular order. A parcel that is parcel number 05-13-030-008-20. I understand that may or may not have meaning to you, but
it does. But
okay, so I mean, this is a parcel with a state equalized value of 6,300, and it looks like it changed hands on October 8th of 2021. And according to the information in the Antrim County database, the sale price for that parcel was $45,000 sold to you. So can you tell me about that one?
Yep, that's our campground.
Okay.
That was also purchased with investor money, though, I might add.
Okay.
Not my money.
Where did is the investor the other 50% owner?
The other 50%. Yes, we have another 50%, and then we also have another investor. My family invested in the project as well.
And why was the purchaser just listed as yourself?
Because my buddy works over the road, and we've been best friends for 20 years. When it comes to this kind of stuff, we totally trust each other. We would never do anything to wrong each other. As far as we both agree that it just go ahead and do what you got to do. It doesn't matter. So I go purchase property. Actually, my name's on the business as well, but his name is on the business as a 50% partner, but I control almost everything. And him and I, in fact, like I said, we're meeting after this call to review things. We get together about once a month and review where we're at with cost, where we're at with progress, and that's how it works. Really pretty simple. It's working out great.
All right, and then the next one was a Kalkaska home. It's a parcel with a state equalized value of 133,700. That last changed hands on January 26, 2017. You are listed as an owner, care of Mark and Patricia Roberts.
That's my sister. That's the torch house that I'm the buyout house.
Okay.
That's the only property I own in Kalkaska County.
Okay, and so it's Kalkaska County, but on Torch Lake.
Yeah, there's a little sliver of Kalkaska County that runs right up there at the and then it's Antrim County on both sides of that sliver, I believe. Milton Township and Clearwater Township.
Then back in Antrim County, there's parcel number 05 is a parcel with a state equalized value of $7,000. That last changed hands on October 8, 2021. That's
also the campground. That piece of land, there's a total of 35 acres there, and it's 3 different parcel numbers. I had to get a offsite well affidavit signed for the health department for our water wells because of that. That was in the 45,000 purchase.
Next one is parcel Antrim County parcel number 05 parcel with a state equalized value of $2,000. Also located in Star Township. Last changed hands May 9th, 2022. You're listed as the owner. It is identified as 10698 Olds Road.
That's where I grew up. That's property right down the street from where I grew up. It was a gift from my mother before she passed. I'd been clearing it for like 20 years, just working on it. They gave it to me a long time ago, and we finally did the paperwork. She found out she was diagnosed with cancer, and my dad said, "Go get that property into his name before, this all goes down."
Vacant land?
Yeah. They've owned it, I think, since the 80s. I want to say, I'm not sure. It was a long time.
Okay. All right. Next one is Antrim County parcel number 0. State equalized value of 7,000. Last changed hands on August 13th, 2021. You are listed as the owner. Would this be
That might be on
third portion of the campground?
It could be. It's either that, or I know that Olds Road property that we just were talking about. It's the name on it's called Moccasin Camp, and it's a couple of different parcel numbers as well. It was split. I think it was split after my parents bought it. I want to say, because my dad was going to put storage units down there, and never did.
And of the property that was formerly owned by your parent, was all of that vacant?
Yeah, it still is.
Okay, next one is Antrim County parcel number property that is identified as with a state equalized value of 47,500. Last changed hands on February 15th, 2022. And what is this property?
I've owned this for since 2014.
Okay.
This is where my Miss Cohen used to live.
So was the eviction completed last year?
July, August area.
Okay. And so at this time, is that house sitting empty?
No, I currently live there. Okay. It was the me taking this house back over is what caused me to be paying child support again. Because they used to live here in lieu of child support.
Okay. Next one is and this is identified as vacant property in the city of Gaylord, with a state equalized value of 16,900. Last changed hands on January 10th, 2020. What can you say about this parcel?
That was also my parents. They put it into my name.
Okay.
They're getting older, so we're getting some of the stuff there. Well, my mom's passed, but my dad's been prepping for about 5 years now. Like I said, he's 85.
Okay, the last one is City of Gaylord Line Trail. State equalized value of 67,500. Appears to have last changed hands December 27th, 2018. This was according to the sale record, sale of sold to you for the price of 125,000.
Yes.
Okay, and so what can you say about this parcel?
That was my previous principal residence.
Okay. And what are you doing with? Yep. You've sold that?
Yeah.
All right. And did you have that listed for sale for 257,000?
Yep.
And what was the eventual sale price?
I believe 260. I had approximately 180 to 200 in it. I paid it when I paid off the mortgage and then paid off everything else in my life. It was a great investment for me. Everything except for torque.
You said you had about 180,000 into it?
Yeah, 180 to 200.
Okay, so is that about what you took out of it?
No.
How much?
It was I think I made like 120 on it.
Okay.
But all that money's gone. I paid everything off with it. almost.
Okay. What did you pay off?
Paid off credit cards. I paid off other personal loans. I paid down on my torch house. I think I'm after that with my Torch Lake Tiki business. After I paying everything off, I think I only owe on the house, and I owe about $300,000, which is pretty good for. I didn't think it was too bad. I got about, I don't know, I'm thinking probably 10 years left on it, but I think I've got like, only a few $1,000s of that left. But like I say, I don't have a truck payment. Don't have a house payment.
All right.
It was
so
actually
then, the one page of the Form 1040 from 2021, you attach that to your motion, and it it indicates that you had adjusted gross income of 26,840, including 17. Included in that is other income on Schedule 1, line 10, consisting of $17,018. What is listed on Schedule 1? I mean, what's going on?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. That's my accountant.
Okay. All right then.
I know that sounds like it might have been 2021, possibly unemployment.
All right. Okay. So,
when I was opening my business.
And then, have you filed a tax return for tax year 2022 yet? I mean,
yeah.
2022. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yep. I just got the stuff back in the mail. I haven't even opened it up yet.
Okay.
Like 2 days ago, I might have got it.
Okay. So at this point, the court requires that you submit a complete copy of your 2020, 2021, and 2022 tax returns.
Okay.
Please email those to Stacy Osborne.
Okay.
You have her email address. And how quickly can you get those to her?
I can probably get you to them today. They're sitting in a stack right there on the counter.
Okay, but will you be able to email them to her?
I'm like 15 minutes away. If you guys need me to drop them off, I could. I would just.
Would that be easiest for you?
Probably. Do you need the whole packet, or do you just want the 1040 form? I've sent you guys the form that my previous accountant told me to send you. She said, this is what they go off. I said, okay.
All I need is a complete copy of everything that was filed with the IRS.
Okay.
2020, 2021, and 2022. So you've indicated you'll be able to get, and if you want to bring paper copies, the place to bring them would be the Circuit Court Administration Office in Traverse City.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that it might not be as close as you think.
Yeah, I can still make it happen.
I can give you the mailing address if you'd like to mail them.
All right.
And please put your case number somewhere inside the envelope so they know what it's for.
I'll attach one of these papers that you guys have sent me to it.
All right. In that case, because I need to look at those to make sure that it's consistent with everything else, I have to adjourn today's hearing. I will have this rescheduled as soon as the court's time will allow. I'm sure at that point, the tax returns will be in and we can review them and I can complete the hearing at that time. Otherwise, court will be in.